Hu Bezdin V'yadu Shito Chazub. So Bezdin, this is like the previous Mishnah. Bezdin gave erroneous instruction. They said something that was usher and brings kares is mutter, and they realized their mistake. V'chazru mehem, and they recant. They say that it's usher. Bein shehivu kaparasam and bein shelo hivu kaparasam. Whether or not they already brought this bowl that they bring in order to as their when Besson makes a mistake. V'halach v'asa al PM, and an individual goes and he does this thing that they had said was mutter and then recanted. Rishimon Poter V'loza Omer Safek. So Rishimon says that the individual is putter. V'loza says that it's he's questionably putter. Ezu Safek. And what is this question? What is this doubt? Chayev. If he sat at home, he's chayev. Halach l'medina sayam putter. If he went to he went abroad, so then he's putter. Rabbi Akiva says moed nimizeshu karev l'ptor min ha'chayva. Rabbi Akiva says, I admit, we'll see what it means later, that he is closer to being putter than to being chayiv. Amalei ben Azai. So Ben Azai said back, Ma'ishna zeh min hayoshi b'beisoi. Shehayoshi b'beisoi efshir lo yishma, v'zeh lo efshir lo yishma. So the difference between this person, somebody who goes to Medina Sayyam, and someone who sits in his house, someone who goes to Medina Sayyam, someone who goes abroad, he could have potentially heard that Bezdin recanted, and that he wouldn't have done it. Someone who stays at home, you could have potentially heard it. Someone who is if I said the other way, it's if he stayed at home, he should have heard that Bezdin recanted. If he was abroad, how could he have heard? This was obviously before the internet. Hor Bezdin la'akor is called. So we'll see Rashi now. Hor Bezdin. Hor Bezdin v'asur reif hatzibur al pihem. And most of the tzibur did according to what Bezdin said. They recanted what they had originally their original instruction. Eventually, because of lacha sheyadu sheto, halacha yachid v'asal PM. The eindim mitzdaref im roiv hatzibur levish la'ach shnei lehem asazeh. So Rashi is saying that if they didn't bring their this, so whether or not they whether or not they actually brought the kapara or not, so he's not mitzdarif. Imrei Fatzibor. Let's see, what's Rashi saying here? ואחר שרשתו והלך היחיד רצה על פיהם, זה אין מסתר from river tzibur, לפי שלאחר שנדר להם עשה זה. So Rashi's pointing out a separate thing, that whether or not they brought their kapara or not, he's not, it doesn't count to make a Raiv Tzibur. It doesn't count toward. So we said before that Bezdin bring their this bull, dafka. Dafka when it's Raiv of the Tzibur, that dafka when it's Raiv of the Tzibur, that does the Avera. So this is person. It's not mitzvah if he's not considered part of the roiv. He's not considered, meaning the majority of people have to follow the bezdin for the bezdin to bring this carbon. This person is not considered among. He's not counted in order to make a majority. He's putter. He's putter because he was titled the bezdin, but he's not counted to make a majority. So if Shimon says he's potter because he did this with the permission of Bezdin. He was unaware that Bezdin had recanted on their original instructions. Also, Amar Safik, Claimer Safik, could title the Bezdin or could title the Atzmai Dami Mubin Asham Talmud. So it says it's a Safik. Whether he's told Bezdin or not, and therefore he should bring a Asham Talmud, a offering you bring when you're not sure if you've done if you're high of a corp. What is what suffix? What is your suffix? Am who high of Asham Talmud? Yashal base high of Asham Talmud. Okay. So then Rabbi Akiva says that he's moed the shukar of liftor. The vada the have vada Talmud bezin shleiter chazarsim har halachol v'yasiyam. So I'm living in the Maishna Zeh, Shahal Minasam Yosher Beso. What's the difference? So who Shukar L'Chor, because he's valid with Bezdin. So Rabbi Akiva says he's moida that he's carved with Tor Min HaChoiva, that he's more he's closer. It makes more sense that he should be potter than he should be chayav if he went to Medina Sayyam, because from than somebody who was Yosher Bebeisai, someone who was sitting in his house. So, but Azay says, what's the difference? Someone who goes to Medina Sayyam from a Yosher Bebeisai. He says, so, okay, so he has a different girsa. We don't have Amar Akiva, but he has Amar Akiva. So Rashi's girsa says Amar Akiva. Moshe Bezin Chazu Behem. Avakara will tell ba'atzmai. So if he was sitting in his house and Bezin was chazer, so then he's close to being titled ba'atzmai. He's maybe not entirely titled ba'atzmai, but since he could have heard, so he's close to being titled ba'atzmai. So therefore he has to bring an Asham Toli. This person who went to Medina Sayyam, he couldn't have heard have a Toli Bezdin Mamish, and therefore he's Mamish Toli Bezdin. This is a case of him being Toli Bezdin. Hilkach Potter, and therefore he is exempt. Okay, now I have more. Hur Bezdin L'Ekar Es Kol Haguf. So if a case where Bezdin instructed that made a ruling that that basically uproots an entire commandment of the Torah, Amr ein nida b'Torah, ein Shabbos b'Torah, ein avodas chachamim b'Torah. So if they say something to the effect of there's no nida in the Torah, there's no avodah zarah, there's no Shabbos in the Torah, there's no Isser nida in the Torah, there's no Isser to do malacha on Shabbos in the Torah. There's no avodah zarah in the Torah. Hare elu paturim, so they're patur. But if they were murdered to be mivatel part of a mitzvah and be mekayim part, so then they're chayav. Kate said, what's the case? Amr yesh nida b'Torah aval haba al shemeres yom k'neged yom patur. If they say something like there is a iser nida in the Torah, there is a iser nida in the Torah, but somebody who has relations with a shemeres yom k'neged yom is patur, which is a subcategory. We'll talk about that soon. Yesh Shabbos l'Torah aval hamotzim yimorshos l'shos patur. There is a mitzvah Shabbos in the Torah, but if somebody who takes an object from Rishis Rabbim, Rishis Yachal Rishis Rabbim, Hamitzim Rishis Yachal Rishis Rabbim, Pater, so he takes from Rishis Rabbim to Rishis Rabbim is Pater. Usually, there's a Isser of Avodah Pater, Val Mishtachave Pater, but just bowing down to Avodah is Pater. So they're chayav. Why? Because the Torah says v'ne'elam davar me'enei ha'eda. It says that a something is hidden from the eyes of the congregation, which is Bezdin. So it says me'enei ha'eda. Says ne'elam davar v'loi kol guf. A thing, an aspect, but not the entire mitzvah. Let's see. Okay, so I guess there's no Rashi on that. I'll review that over Rav. So Yehuda says Hashem Rav, my time to Shimon. What's the reasoning of Rav Shimon? Since he's doing it, Bereshus Bezdin. You can tell Amr Yehuda Amr Rav Rav Shimon Kol Hashatz Beres Tzibur Yachad Ha'isa Pater. Shimon says any hara that's yotze b'reiv tzibur. So any instruction that spread to throughout most of the of Klal Yisrael. It's putter. Because the whole reason of hara, the whole idea of hara, is to distinguish between a shogeg and a mezid. Says Rashi, even though Bezdin was chayzer, individual does it is pater lefish like the hara will have a shogeg and a mezid. L'haidia sheha'isa al piyam shogeg who mezid who v'loy mezid v'havazel al pi hara who isa lefikach shogeg who v'yachash also baraz Bezdin pater. So someone who does something al pi Bezdin is Pihem is shogeg, and he's not amazing. So this person is doing it al pi what their instructions. So therefore, he's a shogeg, and a yachid shasa baras besin is pater. The individual that does a baras besin is pater. The hara lifter hayachid hatoilaba el hakir bein ha'isa b'shogas atzmai la'isa b'mezid u'b'shus bezdin. So another parish is that lo'nitna hara means el hakir b'shogas b'mezid is that the hara, the only thing it does is it makes it a difference to make it a difference of if it's a shogeg, if you did it b'shogeg, of yourself, meaning you accidentally did it from your own mistake, or no, you purposely did it and you did it b'shus bezdin. So this person, he's telling us that he didn't know that they recanted, and he did it based on their say, on what they said. And a yachid that does b'haras bezdin is pater. It's still the same thing that a yachid that does the b'haras bezdin is pater. Probably Rashi's problem with the first teretz, if I had to say offhand, is that because if you're a shogeg, if it makes you a shogeg, so that every case of a chatas is a shogeg. You're only chayav for a shogeg. If you do b'mezid, you can't bring a carbon chatas. Neisrei parhelam davar shal tzibur v'sir v'rechon b'tchila goyv maleim dever Shimon. Yehuda omer mit trumas halishkas heim bayim. So we're asking a question now about this thing that he didn't know. So we say that it says a parhelam davar shal tzibur and sira v'sechavim. So Shimon says that they collect to pay for these. And Yehuda says, no, they come from Trumas Halishka. So Amaikim the Gavi Lahu have a hoida. So the question is that Rabbi Shimon just said that he didn't know when he's doing Rosh Bezdin, but Rabbi Shimon himself says that they collect for when the Parhelm Dover comes, so they collect to pay for this Parhelm Dover. So they went around door to door, apparently collecting funds to pay for this Parhelm Dover. So when they did that, he should have chapped that I guess he should have either asked why they collecting this money or whatever. So he should have. So how is he not informed that? How is he not informed that Besin had recanted? So Meisvei Parham Dover shall tzibur ki gain her Bezdin b'beis hachavim. Like the case of Bezdin was murder b'beis hachavim v'asu tzibur al piyem v'yadu shatar v'chazu behem, and the tzibur did what they did avodah zarah. And a court based on they did the avodah zarah that was based on the instruction of Bezdin. And the Bezdin is aware now that it made a mistake in it, recanted its original psak. So v'tzrichim mos likach par sirei v'sichavim par v'sirei v'sichavim shel tzibur, and they need money to purchase this bull and the goats of tzichavim for the congregation. B'tzli govim lehem hagizbarim govim mikol echad v'echad Yisrael ma'os liknos mihem par v'sirei v'sichavim v'tzarech korban divrei Rishonim. So it says so the people, the Gabayim, the people in charge of so they collect from every Jew money to buy the bull and the Sirei V'Chavim in order for this korban, according to Shimon. So my comer Shimon the Pater, the Rishos Bezdin, who always so Shimon says that this person is pater because he's doing it Rishos Bezdin. Akiva the Agbil who Ma'os the Tzarech Bar Helm Davar, since they actually collected money for the Bar Helm Davar, Shel Tzibor, so he was informed that the Bezdin made a mistake and recanted on their instruction. We might have a total Bezdin, so why is he considered total Bezdin? So it says, either it's that they were, yes, they collected money, but they didn't say why they collected the money. Or possibly that he was not in town. So, or possibly no. It's or the third option is the Rav is like the Tana that holds that this brisa is actually the opinions were switched, and really it's supposed to be read that Rav Yehuda holds that they're goyva from everybody for this par. And the Shimon is the one who says it comes from Trumas Halishka. So it comes from Trumas Halishka. That Trumas Halishka already was collected in advance. And so it's entirely likely that a person would not be aware that that Bezdin was chayzer because they wouldn't have come collecting. They didn't inform him what they were collecting for. So he wasn't in town when they collected, and then after they collected, he did what Bezdin said. Shimon So it's not. So if it comes to Lishka, then it is not going to be publicized because Trumas Halishka is already there. It's not. It's Trumas Halishka is a general fund that is used for Karbonis Tzibur, etc., for communal Karbonis. So So therefore, when he did it based on their instruction, he's not considered totally Bezdin. And so the Tana of the Mishnah holds like this, that Rabbi Shimon holds that Mishumas Halishkahim Bayim. Tanya Meir Mechayev Shimon Pater. So we have that Meir is Mechayev to Latzmehu. Shimon Pater does Bezdin have it. Velozer Omer Suffolk. So this is the third opinion. So Rabbi Shimon says Pater. What is a Suffolk? So here we have a brayso that says that Rabbi Meir says he's chayiv. He's toilet ba'atzmai. Suffolk. Amr Tali. So apparently Simchas says he brings a Ashton Tali. So Amr Yehud Ashton Tali Kibenayu. So Safek Mishra Tali. So okay, so the difference between Rav and Simchas. So he says I'm Tali. Bein Rav Lazar Simchas Inam Levi Asham Tali. According to Simchas, he doesn't bring Asham Tali. Dachi Kamar Simchas. This is what Simchas says. Ma'aseh Tali, who his act is Tali. It's V'leikla Meim or Shem Tali B'atzmei Hava. They have Barachiv from Aliyah. He could have Lefant. They have Barachiv. They have Barachiv from Aliyah. They could have Lefanav. To Achasavas Chaylev Safik Shuman Va'achlu B'dinit maybe Asham Tali. Bishum the Iklememer Shemer Chaylev Mamashu Achol the Barachiv Ma'aliyah. So the normal case of Asham Tali is what? According to simple, he doesn't bring an Asham Tali. Why? The normal case of Asham Tali is he has a piece of meat. He doesn't know, or fat. He doesn't know if it's Chaylev or Shuman. Chaylev is forbidden fat. Shuman is permissible fat, and he ate it. So then he brings an Asham Tali because it's possible to say that he ate chaylev and he's chayiv. But here, so you can't say maybe he's toilet ba'atzmai mamish. You can't say that he's maybe actually relying on himself, right? Because he's doing it based on the instruction of Bezdin. Do they have a tzad chiyuv ma'aliyah? Maybe Asham Tali. Meaning that the whole, seemingly what he's saying is that the whole tzad chiyuv is whether or not what he knew, and whether or not his let's see. Meaning, it seems that the question is just what the level of his tzad chiyuv is. For sure, what the it's not a actual suffix whether or not what he did. There's no doubt as to what he did. There's a doubt as to whether or not we know that he was total bezdin, and it's just a question of whether or not that level of total bezdin is. And I mean, if he didn't know. And it's a question of whether or not he should have found out. It's not an actual straight up question of it's not an actual straight up question is the thing that he did. We don't have a doubt as to what he did. We know what he did. It's a question of whether or not he should have found out. Maybe it will be explained better. Amr Zera, Marshal of Laslam Adavadimer, Ladam Sha'achal Chaylev, Sha'achal Safik Chaylev Chas Safik Shuman, Wenaideloi, Shemavi, Osha. So Zera says, Marshal of Elazar, according to Elazar, what is it like? It's like somebody who ate Safik Chaylev Safik Shuman, and he finds out. He brings it. He brings it. Asham Shrei Savar Shuman who later learns Safik who maybe Asham Talim Mishum Tishem Chaylev Mamashachol. Nam Iklamei Mishem Talim Atzmehu Namishu. So Zera says, according to Risha Elazar, what's it like? It's similar to somebody who eats Safik Chaylev Safik Shuman, the classical case of Asham Talu, someone who eats a piece of fat. He's unaware as to whether it's unclear to him whether that's chaylev or shuman. So he discovers that it's he discovers that it's a suffix. So he brings an asham talmud. So to here, this person ate suffix chaylev suffix shum. This person, he maybe was chaylev ba'atzmai, maybe was chaylev bezdin. So therefore, he brings a asham talmud. Says the Gemara, let me buy one damar tzibur the ma'isi mefarsim and milsa. Not only according to the opinion that the tzibur brings the carbon, so the word spreads that they were chayzer. A few of them are bezim meviin the lemon farsim is he had a shol have amram lay. Even according to the opinion that bezim bring a carbon, and it's not meforsim. It's not publicized that Bezdin recanted. So, but still, if he would have asked Bezdin if they were about their Pesach, they would have told them that they had recanted. Anyway, when the Bezdin Bevian says Rashi, the Chihivu Kaparasam Dami, it's as if they brought their kapara that when they brought their kapara, having mafars, so then according to the Amar that Bezdin bring. So therefore, when they bring their kapara, it's Mefarsim and Milsa, it's publicized. Really have a high Yachatela Bezdin, and therefore this person is not Tela Bezdin. No, if you want the Amar Ki Hor Bezdin Vasu Kalapi and Bezdin Mavim Alampar, Him Turim, even according to Manda Amar, that when the Bezdin instructs everybody, and they make mistakes, and then it's Bezdin themselves to bring the part, and the people are potter to tribute to the price of the part. So therefore it's not as publicized for high Torah Bezdin who. So therefore this person is more of a Torah Bezdin. Afilu Hachi Lad Torah Bezdin who is still not considered Torah Bezdin. Shrei Haya better Lishol. If they ma Bezdin being part, he could have asked why he doesn't bring a part. If he shall, I remember loy ta'u v'chazru. It seems like so. Rashi says that he could have asked why Bezdin is bringing a par. I thought that the notion was that it's not as that the fact that Bezdin is bringing a par is bringing a bull is not that meforsum. It's not that well known. So I thought that the whole notion is that he wouldn't have had the opportunity to ask, but he wouldn't have any prompting to ask, but that the Rav Elazar is saying that he should have taken the initiative and asked anyways. But Rashi seems to say that even so, he's aware. Apparently, if they would, the way that Rashi seems to be learning is if they would collect it, so then it would be Mafars and Milsa why they're collecting it, because they would go door to door and inform people of what happened, or when people are asking you for money, you tend to ask them why they want your money. Either way, but Rashi is learning that that no, even that yes, and Rashi is learning that, and that but the fact, but Rashi seems to learn that the fact that Bezdin is bringing a power that L'chuli Alma, no matter what, becomes public. It becomes known that Bezdin is bringing this power. I guess it's an event that is something that most people would have been made aware of. Okay. Amar Rav Yosef bar Abba mitem Rav Yosef bar Zvida. So Yosef bar Abba and or possibly either Rav Yosef bar Oven or Rav Yosef bar Zvida said, Mashal Sumchus Lamadavar Daimus. According to Sumchus, what's it like? Adam Shehevi Kaparasa ben Ashmashish. Somebody who brings his kapara ben Ashmashish, suffix mi ba'ayin yoin is kaparloi. So it's a suffix if it was ben Ashmashish is by definition a time where it's questionable whether it's day or night. And of course, you need to bring karbonas during the day. So it's a suffix if it was brought during the day, and therefore he's this kaper. And it's a suffix if it was brought from night after nightfall, in which case he's not niskaper. She'ein mevi ashim tolut, and therefore he doesn't bring ashim tolut. In this case, he doesn't bring ashim tolut. Says Rashi, so maybe niskaper loy v'hi kapar ma'alia. So she'ein niskaper loy v'loy kapar ma'al alma, and therefore, and it wouldn't be a kapara to be yom to v'asei ziksiv. Because the Torah commanded you to bring a carbon during the day. The carbon the potter v'eintzach carbon acher al pishu kar v'acher tam ben arbayim ein by shum sul the hachim perik nishchas. So we hold these potter doesn't have to bring a new carbon, even though even though it was obviously brought after carbon arbayim, because that's not bar finish mashas. That's not a psul. The hachim perik nishchas asi Pesach. The Pesach v'esed the chilas kachim v'dachi esed the ashlama. V'yikin avishul v'achri tuva v'hacha b'venish mashas leis beit tzarchim ma'alya. So this says b'venish mashas there's no tzarchim ma'alma. The leikul meim or shem ashar mishechashcha neschaper loy. You can't say that maybe when it became dark it was neschaper. B'venish mashas k'her fa'ayin. Because Benish Moshes is instantaneous; it's not long enough. So we can't tell if it's from the day or not. So similarly, this is a somewhat harder comparison to understand. So somewhat hard to tell. So too, also you can't say Shema Taylor Atzma Shrei her for her Bezdin. So here he's saying Okay, so it seems like Rashi's point here is that Benish Marshas, the actual Benish Marshas, is such a there's a time of Benish Marshas that's a longer period, but the actual Benish Marshas is like a blink of an eye at the end of whatever that period of Benish Marshas is. The suffix is the time of the suffix is much longer than the actual Benish Marshas. So it's almost certain that it was during the day. So it's not a actual full blown an actual full blown suffix. It sounds like is the difference according to Rashi. So to there, so like Rashi's learning the difference of simchas according to this explanation of Rav Yossi bar Oven or Rav Yossi bar Zvida is that it's just such a far fetched light possibility that it's not nischaper. Says Limi by Lamanda Bez Mavin Lim Farsim Milsa, Filamanda Matim, Mavin Lim Farsim Milsa, have a meaning Le Hacha Safik. So it says Limi by according to the opinion that Bezdin are bringing that's not Mefarsim Milsa, El Filamanda to Mavin Lim Farsim Milsa. So even according to the opinion that Bezdin or that Tzibur maybe, so it is before supposed Amr Dahacha. So they would say here. So you have says Limby one Damar says Rashi Bezdin Mivian Tzibur Limby Farsim Milsa he have a Hayach Bezdin Putter. So if Bezdin bring and it doesn't become publicized, so then this person is for his putter. But even according to the opinion that the tzibur brings, the Farsim Milsa he Hayachad Lad Tel Bezdin Tel Azmu Afilu Hachi Oimer Tel Bezdin Hu the Chi Asa Al Piem Asa. So you could say that it's Mefarsim that it's even though. But even according to the Manda Amr that the Tzibur brings, so then you could say that it's Mefarsim and Milsa. You could say that that it gets publicized. You could say that it gets publicized, and therefore this person is not Tola Bezdin. But even so, we consider him Tola Bezdin. Like Mishkach Inish the Delishale like Salak Daik Lamesha Lama he viewed Tzibur part. Lama he viewed Tzibur part. Hilkach Likatzad Chiv Malia Dahat Sad Patur Shaykh by Trade Tola Bezdin to Hilkach Anyway maybe Asham Tola. So it doesn't. He didn't think. So it says he didn't think to ask somebody why they brought the par. So therefore, he's not mechuyev. He's not. It seems he does. There's obviously no chiyuv to ask. And so therefore, he didn't think to. He just took out his checkbook and wrote a check. He didn't ask, and so it's not. And this is not a tzad chiyuv malius. This is not a real tzad chiyuv apparently. Amrulay ben Azai. So this is the next part of the Mishnah. Ben Azai says, "Ma'ishna min hayoshev v'chula." What's the difference between somebody who sits in his house and somebody who goes to somebody who is who went to Medina Sayyam? So it says Shavar Gamalei Rabbi Kiva ben Azai. So it says we're saying that L'chara Rabbi Kiva said good to Ben Azai. He said the difference that he made was a good difference. So what's the so L'chara he just answered up Ben Azai. that the difference is that somebody who's sitting in his house should have heard, and somebody who's going on the road he couldn't have heard. So Rava hechzik b'derek ikbenayu. So Rava says that no hechzik b'derek ikbenayu. Somebody who is getting ready to go, he's going, but he's still in town. That's the difference. The Ben Azai chayev the Havabesi say. According to Ben Azai, so he's chayev because he's still in his house. Akiva potter the hechzik b'derek. Says Rashi, hechzik b'derek lo hayam b'dayin yeshna be'ir. So okay. So hechzik b'derek, he's going to go to Medina Sayyam, but he's still in his house. So that's the nafkamina. So according to Akiva, he's potter because he's mahi was hechzik b'derek, and he's too busy to go and figure out why Bezin are bringing parim or whatever. He's on his way to a trip. According to Akiva of Elazar, according to Ben Azai, he would be chayiv in such a case.